Today's video, we're going to talk about SimilarWeb review. Is the data accurate that SimilarWeb has with it? You can rely on it to make business decisions in your business. The answer to that question is barely. I have a case study where I compared websites that we are also part owners in, because I have several other businesses, others and outside the ad agency that I run, which is my primary business. And I know exactly what the traffic figures were for those, as well as I've got a few dozen clients at our agency where we know the traffic stats from them as well, and the traffic sources, where traffic's coming from. And I compared the Google Analytics data, Shopify data, to SimilarWeb, and I can tell you for a fact just how accurate SimilarWeb data is. And the short of it is, some of their data is pretty darn accurate. Some of their data is completely worthless or useless. I'm going to tell you which is which on this particular video, or by the end of the video. And I'll give you an actual case study where we had specific sites. I can tell you the differences in the data, percentage-wise, how far off it was, and so therefore how much you can count on it. But if you're wondering and want to make money by understanding which competitors you have that are doing well versus not so well, so you know who to mimic, this SimilarWeb is actually not too bad as long as you're looking at the macro level data, site visitor or amount of visitors that a site has on a monthly basis, and more so with where they're specifically getting traffic from. Is it social? Is it YouTube? Is it whatever? That actually is pretty useful data that SimilarWeb has in it. So I'm going to go over in detail what those things are, or about those things, on this video. Before I do so though, if you don't know who I am Corey Ziman, owner of Guaranteed PPC, a online advertising agency that specializes in guaranteeing results for their clients. That is more profitability from their ads upfront before charging any kind of management fees. We are the only agency on the planet who offers such a guarantee, or similar guarantee at that, which should tell you something about the quality of the information that I'm sharing with you on today's video. So with that said, getting into the content, I ran some tests for a few sites that I own, and I wanted to verify just how decent the SimilarWeb data is before I gain a subscription to it, because I started seeing some other people in our industry starting to use it, and like SpyFu, like SEMrush, I want to know how useful the information is, or Ahrefs. Should I be using those other programs over SimilarWeb? For that matter, hypothetically speaking here, right off the top, SimilarWeb should be more accurate because they have more people using the plugin. So unlike Ahrefs, unlike SpyFu, unlike SEMrush, those companies primarily use servers and web scraper bots to identify, where ads are running, how much ads are running, the type of traffic that a site gets from looking at the search engine results and thereof. And with that said, they actually are pretty good at understanding, well, we'll just say sort of good at understanding who's running what via the search engines, because they actually have a decent amount of money invested in these crawlers. But SimilarWeb has people using an installed plugin, and that plugin gives them real traffic data, not making, deriving how much traffic a site gets by how well it's ranked, which it's never going to know everything it ranks for, because it can only, crawl the search engine for so many key terms. SimilarWeb has the actual data about what people are searching, and on a broad spectrum of different things, and real insight into real user behavior on the user level. With that said, the problem is, while that's great for getting basic usage statistics, that is looking at keyword plugin or browser plugin data, the keyword data is garbage. And would be better getting that kind of data from SpyFu or SEMrush, as I've found looking at the tool. And what that means is your traffic volume from SimilarWeb is good. Sources of traffic, SimilarWeb, that is social, or what socials a site's getting traffic from, or what certain websites getting traffic from, all that is actually solid. However, when you get into the keyword data, the search term data, no, not so good at all. Actually terrible. With that said, that gives you a basis of comparison of what you can use this tool for and what not, and why you can't. And I'll go a bit more into detail on that, but if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, you absolutely should, as the information presented to you on it and through it is coming from somebody who spent 20 years doing online marketing, 10 of which in the last are just through the firm that I've founded and run on an ongoing basis, Guaranteed PPC, where we have dozens of ad accounts that we're responsible for getting results on. And I'm doing the ad strategy on every single account as my sole job. I don't do grunt work per se. I'm doing the strategy and testing. And then with that, it's going to provide you the best information someone can provide you about what works in terms of making ad campaigns, millions of dollars for your business. I give you the working type of campaigns and strategies that work to do that. And whereas most of the other people on YouTube and elsewhere you find online don't actually do ad strategies for dozens of ad accounts that they're responsible for managing at their firms, they're running a couple of campaigns and pretending like they're an expert, or they don't run ads at all and they're just trying to sell you a course, which there's a lot of that going on out there in the market. So if you're going to pay attention to anything and your goal is to become a millionaire running ads for your business or multi-millionaire, you need to subscribe to this channel because it's going to be the best information you can find on the topic of making millions running ads for your business. Also, you should check out the blog that we have on our site that I write and maintain as well. That is found on guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has the actual strategies we're using to guarantee results for our clients along with it, with screenshots, with the step-by-step instructions, to be able to execute those strategies for yourself. So you should check that out as well. But beyond that, and if you have any questions about any marketing-related questions or topics, or have any marketing-related questions, you can always leave me a question or comment in the comment section about that. And I will definitely get back to you, usually within 24 hours time, on whatever it is that you have questions about. And I'll try to use my 20 years of experience as best as I can to answer answer the question as to what you have and how to get to the next level with what you're doing with your ads or whatnot. Get back to what I was saying here. Keyword data, if really what you want is keyword data, SimilarWeb shouldn't be the tool you're using. That's the place, if you want to know what keywords that your competitors are showing up for or bidding on, you should be using SpyFu or SEMrush. I personally am a SpyFu guy because it's a little bit better for ad data, whereas SEMrush is better for organic data as per what I've noticed. And Ahrefs better for like SEO stuff. Why? Because it actually scans the search engine. So it's obviously going to be better at getting the keyword level data. There's servers that all they do is just scan the search engine results to find out what's there and then catalog it. The same thing is true with the search term data that SimilarWeb has. Pretty much it goes hand in hand with the keyword data. And when I say don't rely on it, I mean don't rely on it at all. If you need that data, SimilarWeb, as per what I've studied there and compared to what our websites that we're part owners in, the actual keywords and the search terms that our ads show up for and so forth, it's nowhere even close to matching. Now, that said, the traffic volume stats and the sources of traffic are actually really good. I can tell you that, we have clients that get most of their traffic from Facebook through social posts that they post there. SimilarWeb would actually had it pinned down extremely well. Facebook, their top traffic source there. Now, that all comes from people downloading that web browser plugin, installing it on their web browsers, and that's how it's going to know what traffic you would get from Facebook because it sees the user on Facebook physically clicking through. So you can't get any better data than that in terms of which websites a website gets traffic from. As a side, by the way, if you're looking for how to be able to run ads successfully, of course, knowing somebody's keywords that they're targeting and ads that they're targeting are okay. But if you don't know the fundamental principles that actually get results with ads to go along with it, you're going to run other people's stuff that doesn't work. 70% of people who run ads don't make money from it because they don't track well enough and they just don't know what they're doing. So you don't want to copy other people's stuff just straight up. What you want to do is look at their stuff as a guide or inspiration and then apply it to your knowledge that you already have about running ads. And anybody can become a millionaire running ads for their business if they just know what the fundamental principles are to make it work, of which I talk about on this channel, and it's all here for free for you to be able to use. Like I mentioned before, you should subscribe if you haven't. If you are too lazy or don't have time to study how to run ads successfully, not just rely on copying your competitors' campaigns, you can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com and I'll give you a quote as to what results we can get for your campaign up front on guarantee, with the understanding that we do not charge management fees unless we get you at least that amount of results. We don't take on just any client here because we got to know we can get great results to promise you great results, but we can at least look at and see if it's possible and have that conversation, see if we can work together in that capacity. By the way, even if you don't want to work with an ad agency, but you don't want to do the work necessary to get to millions a year running ads for your business, we also been selling ad templates here at our firm recently. That is, in the last 10 years, we've built campaigns for 100 plus different niche markets. If we've worked in your niche market before, you can buy from us, literally speaking, the winning ads, landing pages, campaign templates, all of it that work for your niche market. You copy paste those babies into your ad account and you're going to get the same results we got with none of the work that we had to spend, money and we had to spend to get to those level of results. So if you're interested in that, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com for that. We can tell you the results we have already generated in your niche market and then what you're going to stand to get with those templates though as well. And then on top of that, if you're looking to start a new business or diversify from what you're doing right now, ever now or in the future, taking one of these templates and running with it is like the easiest way to do it because you A, know that the business will work, B, what ads you're going to have to use to make it work. It really doesn't get any easier than that. If you want the least amount of risk in what you're doing, just start with the template that we know makes money for another client in a different city or country that you're in, and then just run with it in that regard. We got people also using these templates because they work so damn good to sell leads. They get the lead using the template that we have. Because the lead comes in so cheap, they're able to mark it up 50% and then resell the lead onto another business. Interested in any of those other opportunities, you can also reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com. With that said, I would recommend SimilarWeb for traffic stats if you're into looking at competitor data and keeping tabs on your competitors, and then SpyFu for the keywords, search terms, and ads and everything that they're using on their ad campaigns, as is what they're ranking for organically. And that's pretty much it. A suite of tools that you can rely on to do competitive research in your niche market. With that said, I actually checked multiple sites to see if the traffic volume and the sources of traffic on and using SimilarWeb were on point, and I saw this multiple times. We saw this for the wakeboarding equipment site that we had, the actual traffic that it said we got from Google in terms of volume of traffic overall, and the source of traffic literally was within 25% of what the real numbers were that we see in Google Analytics and in our Shopify account, to give you some sort of direct perspective on how it's scary how accurate this data was. I was actually quite blown away when I seen it. So that gives you a pretty good understanding of how good this data is, which, makes sense. If they got 100,000 people who've downloaded that web browser plugin, they have pretty good data. And because they don't have all users, but they can model they can create a projection from the data and the number of users that they do have, being if they know that they have 100,000 users who have downloaded their plugin, but there's, let's say, 40 million people in the country, 400 million, they can just multiply, the amount of people they see going to a certain website times 400 and get the real number of traffic that goes to that site, if you will. So just add a cofactor to the data that they have. And with that, they pretty much know. Now, naturally, that you could get a grouping of people that use a similar web plugin that visit a certain website, and then they would have a hole in the data and they'd be off in terms of knowing how much traffic a site gets. I did this on 3 different sites, saw that the results were all pretty close. They were all within 50% of the actual traffic volume that what we've seen in Google Analytics 4. And then we had that wakeboarding equipment site where we were within 25%. For all practical purposes, it's as accurate as it needs to be. And that gives you an idea of how accurate it can be and how much stock you can put in the data that SimilarWeb has. So is it worth the subscription cost? Yes, if you just want to know which competitors are, like if you want to rank stack, okay, this guy's doing the most revenue, this guy's doing the second most, third most, which basically you wouldn't know for sure because just more traffic doesn't mean more revenue, but you can kind of basically see where on the total bowl everyone is. If you're trying to do that, it absolutely is worth it. So I'll leave it pretty much with that. Thank you very much for watching as usual, and I'll see you in the next one.
Remember when I said keyword data was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.